So we are here today at KENAF headquarters, the Farmers Conference Center in Logoto, to talk about Inclusive Agribusiness Club. This is a concept that was launched last year, jointly launched by the Kenya National Farmers Federation and 2Scale, which is a project within the SNV, a Dutch NGO. And the idea behind Inclusive Agribusiness Club really is to ask, how do we bring inclusivity? How do we bring sustainability in the issues that we are talking about? We know that there are a lot of actors in this country working with farmers, working in agricultural development, both in the private sector, in the civil society sector where KENAF is, but also in the public sector. And all these people are working, all these organizations, all these actors are working towards the same thing. How do we transform agricultural production and productivity in this country so that we have, one, food and nutrition security for the country, and two, enhance farmers' incomes. And 2Scale and KENAF looked at these two issues and realized that there's a lot of disjointedness in how these three sectors are working together. When you look at the public sector, the government at the national level and the county level, one, at the national level, they are doing their own things. The county level is doing its own things. When you look at the private sector, they are not really talking to each other, with each other. When you look at the civil society sector, there's also a lot of silos, each organization doing their small piece of a bigger puzzle. So we thought if we could bring this club together, if we could establish a platform, a forum, where we could bring all these voices together so that if we are talking about transforming agricultural production and productivity, so we are talking about how do we enhance farmers' incomes, all these actors, because we do believe that each of the actors, be it in the private sector, in the public sector, in the civil society sector, each actor has a role to play.
And among other partners, we have brought together more than 10 partners who are both private and public and private sector actors to hear what each of them is doing and therefore learn from lessons learned by implementing various projects, including those that are probably in the pipeline, and how we can influence these programs, or we can use the lessons learned to do more inclusive interventions to help one another to think about how to build resilient communities, how to promote inclusivity in what we do, and what resources we can bring together for a sustainable platform that can go beyond the life of projects like the 2Scale program. So in terms of public-private partnerships, 2Scale has used this approach and harnessed the powerful association with public-private partners that helps to drive business. One, we believe that businesses can only thrive if there is profit that is coming out of it. And so we believe that businesses and private sector has to be at the center of all sustainable work that we do. So that when there is profit coming from businesses, they can pull all other actors, smallholder farmers, aggregators, service providers, and there will be a very strong agribusiness cluster movement that is sustainable post 2Scale. When it comes to government, we believe that it is the government that also provides the framework for success and sustainability. This includes the various strategies that the government has in place for women inclusion, such as the Women Economic Fund, the Youth Economic Fund, county development funds and all that, and other policies that are put in place that will be implemented through the government frameworks and policies. And therefore, we feel that this is a point of convergence of public goodwill and framework for making sure that agribusinesses are successful and profitable. So when we bring them together today, for example, we'll hear what the government is doing to provide funding for women in micro enterprises, and how also organizations that are doing research on policy are able to analyze and provide analysis out of what they have seen as successes or gaps that are in those policies and how they are implemented. And likewise, the private sector are able to see the opportunities that are there and how they can make profit or how they can benefit from those opportunities.
Our participation in the Inclusive Agribusiness Club is vital because we are some of the partners that are pushing the inclusivity agenda. In TechnoServe, we are working with food SMEs to help women, low-income consumers, especially women, to be incorporated in the supply chain as suppliers of raw materials and also as markets who safe and nutritious products that food processors produce for low-income markets. So our participation in the Inclusive Agribusiness Club is to learn and also to contribute to the inclusivity agenda for purposes of improving better economic outcomes and also food security in the region. Women naturally are left out when it comes to green raw materials for food processors in the areas of accessing inputs and even extension services. Most players may not know how to address the challenges that these women face. And that's how TechnoServe, through the food processors, are pushing for gender responsive approaches to engaging local smallholder farmers. Looking at the markets, a lot of women are, in the BOP consumers. They're the ones who make decisions at household level on the kind of foods that their families consume, the nutritious products. So they are a key stakeholder to target when it comes to targeting the base of the pyramid. So that is the reason why we are very keen on engaging women as in the supply chain as sources of raw materials and also a target market for the food processors of safe and nutritious products.